Yo, what's the crap, boys? Regular season is actually almost over. My opinion has been one of the better regular seasons. Also, we have missed out a lot, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. The whole Western Conference right now playing. I'm saying there's at least 7 teams. There's at least 7 teams, 5 bare minimum, that can come out of the West and face probably the Bucks or Celtics in the finals. You know, we haven't seen the West this good since, seeds 1 to 8 had at least 50 wins. Which, even that in itself is fucking ridiculous, but here are my teams that I think are good. Obviously, you can have your own opinion, but, Denver, Phoenix, Lakers, Clippers, Sacramento, yes, Sacramento, the Warriors, and Memphis. You have 7 teams here that can legitimately come out of the West. Every team has some positive and negatives, which just makes it so much better, which is kind of the reason why there are 7 teams when normally it's 1 or 2. The fact that it's 7 is so good for the league. Obviously, if you're watching this, you didn't know that they're making an in-season tournament, which I think is dumb. That's a video for another day, another topic for another day. We're talking about this, but that little side note, I don't think that's good for the league, but anyway, here are the 7 teams. Obviously, Denver, the 1 seed there. I would understand their favourites to come out of the West. They have the best all-around team. They have Jokic, which kind of already is enough, who makes all his teammates better. Michael Porter Jr., who is, oh my god, that guy loves to shoot, man. That guy loves to shoot. Denver just has such a great group of players. Good shooting, there's some good defenders in that team. Jamal Murray has been playing great since he came back. They have a lot of positives. Denver could, now that I really think about it, Denver probably might be my pick to come out of the West, but obviously we've got some teams we need to talk about which could stop it. A big weakness, I think, is Jokic getting targeted on defense. Michael Porter Jr. too. Not exactly. I don't know. But yeah, Jokic has been picked on a lot this season, for defense. The Spurs targeted him. They lost the Spurs. But obviously in the playoffs, defense is a huge point. All the champions are top 10 offense and top 10 in defense. Golden State, who won last year, who were out of that equation, were still, 2nd in defense. So yeah, defense is a huge part in winning the championship in the NBA. So, the Nuggets aren't the best defensive team, so that could legitimately hurt them. But maybe things, are different this year. Phoenix, probably my pick. I don't know. It's so tough to see. By the play-in tournament's done, I will have a solid prediction. Obviously, a duo of KD and Devin Booker is pretty unfair. I can't lie. That's a crazy duo. Good luck guarding that. I think that's an exception. Doesn't matter if you're not the best defensive team. That duo is enough. Obviously, forgetting about it, you have DeAndre Ayton and Chris Paul. DeAndre Ayton, was a huge part of the Suns' playoff run. People are surprised he didn't get paid that summer when, he shoot off. But, it is what it is. He's got paid now. Also, you got Chris Paul as well, who's, Chris Paul, one of the best playmakers and point guards. With KD and Devin Booker and Ayton, he's going to have a field day of the assists. So their offense, especially when KD plays, some of the best offense in the league. Defense, a little work needs to be done, but Phoenix definitely can come out of the West. Obviously, this is enough to make me not pick them. Depth. You need depth. Come on, but you can't just have, a big 3 or a big 4, realistically a big 4 or just a big 2. Can't just rely on your starters. You need that bench production because you're going to face a team in the playoffs with bench production. And when they're just going to shit on you. They're just going to shit on you. They're going to less gas, all this stuff. So Phoenix's big question mark for me is just their depth, and obviously Chris Paul health. A Game 7 situation or Phoenix are facing elimination. Scott Foster's refereeing. I'm not even joking, bro. If that happens, they're out. Obviously Chris Paul seems to be cursed in the playoffs as well. Injuries, KD got hurt slipping in pre-game warm-up. And every question mark for most teams in this West is health. Just because the playoffs are going to start doesn't mean these injuries aren't going to happen. Naz Reid broke his wrist. That's a huge loss for the Timberwolves. I do expect them to make some noise in the playoffs. Whoever they play, whether it's in the play-in or the playoffs. Naz Reid was balling this season. I think he's going to have a great solid career. That's a big piece missing from them, especially when you have Rudy Gobert as your center. But I'm kind of confident Phoenix can go for a bare minimum second round. If not, they do have that. They have this okay, KD just joined. Like with Harden and the Sixers last season. You know, we lost Miami. Okay, Harden was kind of injured. He just joined the team. Let's have a full off season. And now we're like one of the best teams in the league. So, obviously, if they don't make the final, it's not finals or bust. Maybe it's conference finals and bust, but like, regardless what happens, next season's, you know, the true test, the whole off season together, this and that. Like, there's not as much pressure as there will be next year, unless Phoenix wins the championship this year. Then who knows? Sacramento are going to be in the playoffs. I'm happy for that. That is, you know, only the Kings fans knew that this was going to happen. We all after them. Now look at them. They're one of the best teams in basketball. Have one of the best offenses in history. The defense, though, they are horrible defensively. That's why I think they could get exposed if they play what, you know. People are saying the Kings could beat the Warriors. No. I'm not having it. The Kings will not. If the Kings play the Warriors, I'm having Warriors in 5. Maybe I'd probably say 6. Sacramento are that good, and they have, you know, obviously Mike Brown, in my opinion, coach of the year. Mike Malone maybe a second, but it's got to be Mike Brown. Great coach. His enthusiasm, his energy, his experience is just completely shown. De'Aaron Fox, one of the most clutch players in the league. Him and Sabonis, got to be one of the best duos in the league. Sabonis is up there in the MVP rankings. You know, Sabonis can easily give you a 20, and 10 night in the playoffs. It's gonna be good for them. They also have great shooter. They have great shooter. Kevin Huerter, Keegan Murray, Malik Monk. De'Aaron Fox has even been upgrading his shooting. It's just the defense. They have a bottom 5 defense. Like, you can't, unless they turn up in the playoffs, they turn something around. It's looking like it could be like, do you know what I mean? Don't doubt them, but it's also don't doubt the Warriors, which I'll get into once we get to them. But it would be wrong to doubt the Kings because we have, and you know, look what happened. But you know, bottom 5 defense, I don't think that's going to have it. Come on. Like, obviously the shooting can definitely save them. The shooting, they put up like 176 points this season against the Clippers. Like, their offense is very good. They could just sort of, also not comparing it, but like big free nets against them. You could just outscore your opponent. But obviously, it looks like they could be playing the Warriors. It just depends, you know, matchup-wise. That's really what it's down to. But Kings, their Achilles heel is just their defense. Now, we got the next 2 teams we're going to talk about, obviously the Lakers and Clippers. These teams have the star power to just do it. They have the best duos out of everyone. You know, the Lakers, LeBron and AD surrounded by good role players is literally, in my opinion, one of the best formulas you could ever have for a championship. They could have won it in 2021. Honestly, obviously health, you can't really change. Like, health is obviously going to be one of their biggest, you know, question marks. You know, if they stay healthy, they could win it, but, you know, AD was injured last night, hold on to his ankle. Yeah, fair play, he still played. Come on, bro, like, you're telling me AD playing 40 minutes ain't gonna get injured? It's a bit rough. In my opinion, if AD gets injured again this season, I'm trading him. I get this whole conversation with Zion and the Pelicans, who would have been in here if Zion wasn't injured. But come on, AD's like nearly 30. He's still in his prime. AD just put up 38 and 17 last night against the Timberwolves. He's still amazing. Top 10 player in the league, but if he gets injured again, yeah, you got to trade him, I think. 80 for Dame. Who says no? Or like a huge 40. I don't know how that would work. But yeah. Obviously, I kind of got side noted with the Pelicans. But Lakers, they have everything now. Their team is so much better. D'Angelo Russell's a very good, great playmaker, flashy player, makes great plays. Could just caught like a bad shooting run in the playoff series could cost him, but you know, I think AD will dominate, LeBron will dominate. Austin Reeves somehow is becoming a lot better. And, you know, free throw attempts, this and that. I think Jared Vanderbilt will be a huge part in this. Somewhat of a modern day Dennis Rodman. Play great defense. Obviously, they just got shooters now. Dennis Schroeder is going to be a great backup point guard to D'Angelo Russell. The Lakers just have depth now, and that's really all you need with LeBron and AD. It's not really much to talk about, apart from health. That's the only way the Lakers genuinely could win the championship this year. If LeBron got ring number 5, I think that solidifies himself as the GOAT, 100%. Think about this first season for LeBron. Scoring champion, obviously the injury, well, it doesn't really matter for it, but scoring champion, wins his 5th ring at 38 years old. What he's accomplished in his career, I think it would just, you know, I think you'd have to give him the GOAT. That, you know, he just needs another championship. I don't think he's the GOAT right now. By the time he retires, I think he will, but that's what I think. Obviously, health. I think AD is really their X factor, to be honest. LeBron's going to do his thing in the playoffs. He always does. Just whether AD can just be healthy, be aggressive. You know, AD can be very passive. There's been multiple times, you know, since last season, this season, he doesn't really shoot that often in overtime in the fourth. Obviously, Lakers do have shooters now, Malik Beasley, Austin Reeves, all these guys that can just shoot the ball. But AD really needs to dominate, especially, you know, if they play the Nuggets, AD's got to be shooting the most shots every night. AD on Jokic is barbecue chicken, bro. That's how the Lakers can beat the Nuggets. Just AD on Jokic. You know, maybe the double team comes in, passes to LeBron or a shooter, boom. It's really a good formula. Obviously, Lakers are amazingly defensively, so they're going to do their job on defense, which is a huge part. So that's why I think Lakers have a really good chance to win the championship. Clippers. Health is their biggest problem. Paul George, like, oh my God, I can't. I hate seeing Paul George and this Clipper team get injured now. It's terrible, but Kawhi has been balling these last 2 months, putting up ridiculous numbers, you know, looking like his old self again. You know what Kawhi's like when it comes playoff time. Michael Jordan, bro. Michael Jordan. He'll easily be averaging 30, huge rebounds, maybe getting some assists, good steals and blocks, playing phenomenal defense in the playoffs. None of this load managing shite. So, you know, he'll actually be there to play. Obviously, Westbrook was amazing against the Grizzlies, you know, 2 nights ago. Obviously, they just lost. But I think their main problem is obviously health. And, you know, when Westbrook when Westbrook is just there by himself, no Kawhi, Paul George, he balls, because that is what Westbrook does. Westbrook is a player that needs the ball, pass out to teammates, be aggressive. But obviously, when you got Kawhi and Paul George, it's a bit harder. But I think he was doing it off the bench this season for the Lakers. I think he can still do it. Like I said, they have one of the best coaches in the league, Ty Lue, who's, you know, I feel sorry for him. He's been going through a lot, lost many family members, putting, you know, his career first, which I respect. Obviously, they have a whole well-rounded team, which is just perfect. Like, it's like similar to the Lakers. Kawhi and Paul George surrounded by great role players that can, you know, 3-and-D, great coaching. Obviously, I don't know, Westbrook is overhated, I think, but I hate to say it, it's kind of, you know, down to him, depending on how he plays. Obviously, last time we saw Kawhi and Paul George in the playoffs, they could have damn near won it. If it wasn't for that Kawhi injury, Kawhi was playing outrageous. So yeah, health. I'll just say health. I won't say health in Westbrook, but I'll just say health is really their big problem. And obviously choking. They do have a bit of a tendency to do that. You know, especially in the fourth quarter, you know, isolation scoring. Paul George and Kawhi just ain't hitting isolation shots. No team involved. That can definitely hurt them. So, you know, we'll see. Memphis. People can say what they want. People do not like Memphis. You know, Dillon Brooks. I'm a fan of Dillon Brooks. Just when he gets, you know, in arguments with players, I ain't on his side. But I do like how, you know, Dillon Brooks would talk shit to someone, play like, you know, he gets embarrassed, and boom, comes back with a dunk off his own. I like that about Dillon Brooks. I do like him. Also, you got Jaren Jackson Jr. Memphis has such a good all-around team. I think Steven Adams is still out. I'm not sure how long he'll be out for. That's a big missing piece. Very good defensively. Obviously, Jaren Jackson and Dillon Brooks are, you know, very notorious for fouling out. That could definitely be, you know, Game 6, Memphis are 3-2 up or something. You like bish bash bosh. They foul out. One of them fouls out. Boom. Like someone takes a, you know, got Luke Kennard guarding someone. It's just as simple as that. Obviously, their strongest points, great coaching, great defensively. They have a superstar in Ja Morant, who's like one of the only players to average like 25 and 10. Some like 20 and 10, like bare minimum 20. So, you know, they have a great lean star player, great chemistry, great defense. If they have, you know, they'll have home court advantage. You know, Memphis, that arena goes crazy for them. Obviously, it's just the foul outs, the drama. I wouldn't say that's going to be a huge part. But, you know, something, you know, might overcome this. Half-court offense as well. They're not typically great. But, you know, I was just dissing, but Luke Kennard 3 could really change a series right there, especially a game. Desmond Bain, obviously, Desmond Bain's nice with it. He's so nice with it. I think Ja does particularly, he was shooting quite well in the playoffs last season. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a very solid player as well, like I was saying, but kind of, I wouldn't pick Memphis to come out of the West, even though it's possible, but I wouldn't do it. Not yet. All in all, though, I think they'll be fine. You know, bare minimum second round. Conference finals, averagely. Like, I say averagely, but, like, I think they could make a conference finals appearance. like I said, it's more easier to predict once the seedings are finished. Obviously, finally, the Warriors, who, for the defending champions, this has been a complete roller coaster of a season. You go from playing like, at the Chase Center, it's like, okay, yeah, these guys might repeat. These guys might repeat. Then you got on the road, it's like, what the fuck? You just lost to the fucking Rockets. No, not the Rockets. Like the Spurs, or like, do you know what I mean? They're losing to some dumb team. It's like, okay, bro, what is this? You got Clay, kind of having some streaky shooting games, throwing up the fours, which he can't do. People are getting pissed off with that. Like, come on, bro. If you're an NBA player, if you're a Klay Thompson or your own player, you won 4 championships. Someone's talking shit to you who ain't won nothing, bro. I'm throwing up the fours, bro. I'm throwing up the fours. You're dumb if you're not, bro. Come on, some guys chatting shit. We're down by like 10 or 20. It's like, oh yeah, bro. I got 4 championship rings, bro. Like, don't act like you wouldn't do that as well, bro. Come on now. Obviously, the Warriors, when they're healthy, they make the finals every time. Like, I think we forget this. Obviously, Wiggins is a big question mark. No one knows what he's going through. Apparently, it's bad, bro. Like, I'm not gonna speak on it. I ain't speaking on it, but like, I hope he's sound like. But apparently, I think he'll be back for the playoffs. He's got to. He's gonna use that dog in him to like actually come back and possibly win. If they have Wiggins back, bro, they could easily win the championship, 1,000,000%. Without him, nah. Wiggins was top 3, possibly the second reason they won the championship, bro. He was guarding their best players, going back, giving them 20 and 10. Well, he had like 18 rebounds in the finals, or was that the conference finals, if I remember correctly? Insane rebound numbers. Kevon Looney's going to get the boards, the blocks. Draymond could fuck it up for them, I can't lie. I think this is Draymond's last season in the Warriors, sadly, but maybe even Clay's. Who knows what the team's going to look like that next season. I think this could be their last run. Very possible. I don't think we even realised it, but who knows. But, Clay, I think Clay will be fine for the playoffs. Clay is just that guy. Steph's going to be Steph. Jordan Poole's like one of the weirdest players in the NBA, man. Like, I genuinely cannot know if he's going to be streaky or he's going to be amazing like he was last season. Kuminga's going to give great production, I think, if he gets minutes. It's just like if you're playing if you can hardly win a road game, you're not going to win a championship. But Golden State has also won a road game every playoff series, so who knows. But if they get Wiggins back in that lineup, that's like the best 5-man lineup in the whole league. Wiggins can shoot the ball like it's like Golden State. It could just be like, oh, why are we talking about this? Golden State can win this, or the Lakers. It's just so difficult to predict. But if I had to like put money on it right now, or not money, if I just had to predict, regarding all the circumstances, let's say it kind of goes higher, not higher in my head, but like, I would pick the Lakers. Weirdly, I don't know, I would just pick the Lakers or Warriors. They're the most experienced teams with better formulas than everyone else. If I had to pick a third option, it'd be Phoenix. It'd probably be Denver. I'd probably choose Denver over Phoenix. I think Phoenix next season are going to be big. 60-win team. They make some off-season adjustments, but my 3 favorites right now: Lakers, Warriors, and Nuggets. All that just loses the Bucks in the finals, though. That's what it is. But let me know what you think.